Hello and welcome everyone. Hello Sophia Maxima and hello Red Seraph. How are you both doing? I mean, it's not morning for me. It's more evening. It will be morning in a few hours technically. So yeah, hope you're doing well. Also, yeah, that's still a little bit too many sugars for my taste. I'm sorry. I'm too European in that regard. Time to build more trains. I'm doing pretty well. Slept a bit. Was a pretty mild day. Try to catching up on reading gay shit, so you know, the average stuff. I mean, hey, maybe you will actually meet some steam trains. We have still a bunch of them around here, so should not be too hard to find a few museum railways. So, yeah, we are here and fixing shit. Oh, I mean, it's a pretty fun game, Sophia. It's not my favorite, but like, I mean, the favorite one is Locomotion. But like, I didn't want to do more open Locomotion downloading, etc. And I was just like, yeah, you know, I kind of want to play this, and you know, I can build the Shinkansen Zero, which is great. And otherwise, I mean, they just announced a third game, so it can only go up from there. Okay. Busan also needs cogs. Actually, where do they need them? This should... Oh yeah, actually... Ooh, high-speed tracks. Time to upgrade later. So everyone who's wondering, what we're doing right now is basically... Oh, come on, track builder, come on, don't do this to me. There we go. This is more like it. Okay. Our first 3-row tunnel. Perfect. It really depends, actually. Like, I mean, the obvious thing I would say is always build, build tracks above ground, simply because it's better and, it's just more cost effective, like, in any sense of form. I mean, even if we're talking about a, post-scarcity society, generally building above ground is just a smarter move. For just all the reasons, like it's easier to build, it's easier to maintain, it's easier to how is it called again? Like maintenance is a big thing. Another very big one actually is safety. Like if you're building your track below ground, sure, it's like, no more noise and, less noise and stuff for everyone, but it's safer, like trains break down. So if you have a train where you can just go and and you have simply, just stop the train, people can leave it, good. I mean, this one really heavily depends on what exactly we're talking about. Like, I mean, in general, the thing is with trains, I would say that they're actually very minimal in terms of ecological impact compared to everything else anyway. Like, that is such a major factor that is just not talked about a lot, because it's like, oh, hey, trains. Then people are like, those big beasts, but like, trains themselves are very like, they don't take up a lot of space. Generally, they are they're more quiet. You don't need to use them. You don't need to use a lot. Like, as I said in the last stream, one cargo train can hold much more than most trucks can do. So that is just a huge upside in terms of what trains can do, really. The thing is, building above ground just has more upsides. Like, we're talking passenger rail, again, especially with passenger rail, very much security is an important thing. Like, there's just stuff like, for example, sometimes trains can burn. You don't want to have a train burning in the tunnel. I mean, literally, that can happen. So yeah, there is a reason why we have like specialized. For example, Gotthard has like literally a specialized fire department that trains like all the time. But you should not need that. I mean, having them useful, but again, you shouldn't need it. Well. So yeah, above ground. I mean, again, when it comes to just logistics in terms of, for example, cities, etc., I would say, depending on how much, depending on the way you build something, it can actually be better to build below ground. Like, I think a good example is, in that regard, ironically, I know I bring up Karlsruhe a lot, but like they had a very interesting problem develop over the last years because, as I told before, they were kind of the model for the tram trains, but as I said before, they're not trams going outside, there are regional rails going into the city. So the thing is, their inner city got clogged. Like, basically, the trams and the S-Bahn both went through the pedestrian zones, which is not a problem. They still do in some areas because, trams are actually very safe. Like, you can drive trams through pedestrian zones and they're not really a problem because they're predictable. Buses less, but different topic. The thing is just, at the end of the day, you look at it and are like, okay. So, there just started to be a lot of trains. So what they did was actually build a new underground station to get the trains out of the way for the people. And I think that is the one time where, one of the few times where this is actually a sensible thing to do. Like, for example, if you build a subway. Subway is heavy rail. Subways are good underground, if you can't build them overground, which again, all the upsides of everything. Because a subway underground is just, it's very efficient and you do want fast trains out of the way of people. That's just one major thing. So like tunnels have their place. It's just also, most of the time, build above ground. That's what I'm saying. And yeah, when it comes to environmental impact, I mean, look at this. Even in-game, our dual-tracked railway line through the forest is still smaller than the average road. Like, yeah. Okay. It's growing good. We have passengers here. We don't have a lot of passengers here. Oh, but we are getting some passengers here, I think. Yes. Are you building? They're slowly building up. Oh, wow. It's the 1930s. Surely nothing bad will happen in this decade. But yeah, generally, like, I mean, even if people are like, oh, but what about, animals and stuff? Like, the irony is, again, trains kill a lot less animals because you do not need as many trains on a railroad than on the street. Also, that's an interesting thing, because railways are up on a slight hill. A lot of animals do tend to just not go as close because, roads are flat. Like, animals usually walk on it without noticing. Meanwhile, the average railroad is much more distinct, distinct for that. Also, a lot of them just have, like, small fences, and that is usually enough. Like, most animals do not go over the fences. Which, once again, fences, very simple. And they work. But what about the small animals? Well, here's the thing. Another upside of the railroad, because, again, they're elevated, you can actually make small tunnels. So stuff like toads and such can actually go through those. Cool. And if you want to be really really good, you can build a bridge. Like, there are, like, actual animal bridges. I don't know if they've done them a lot in the USA. I know they are planned for California high-speed rail, which makes sense because California had their own history with, like, quite literally cutting populations off from each other with highways, and not gonna do that again, I assume. Okay, where to build next? So I do need... Are you shipping a lot? Yeah, you're shipping a lot. Hell yeah. Happy how that is turning out. But yeah, I mean, generally I would say we do need more trains. Hell, I mean, one of the most... I know people were like, what the fuck when I said that, but like, I do genuinely think, for example, the problem with tourism in the Himalaya could actually be solved with trains. Now people are like, wait, that seems counterproductive. Well, here's the thing. You will not stop people going up the mountain, because as of now, the Himalaya is one of the, few mountains where it's basically, oh, you can't go there normally. I mean, thousands of people do it every year because they're fucking idiots, and they leave waste up there and die, and it's just shit. So, I hate them. Yeah, I know, hot take, I dislike a lot of the tourism that's going on in the Himalaya. But now we're switching over to the but thing. The thing is, actually, one of the most effective ways to actually get people to not do that anymore en masse is making it more accessible. I mean, it sounds counterproductive because you're like, wait, do you want to have more people up there? No. The thing is, what I am saying is, the big problem they have is just, right now it's a mythological thing. And people will go up there. But if you build a good railway up there, like very close to the top, and, say those are like the limited areas where people can go, you can limit where people go, and the moment it's like, oh, it's just an accessible mountain, people won't go there anymore. Because that's the thing. Most people don't climb mountains because of the mountain or the challenge. That's a very few people. Most people do it to prove something. It's bullshit. And the moment you, you put something on the site that says, hey, look, everyone can get up there in some form, these people will just stop doing it. What the fuck? Where is this? How did you both manage to fuck up this much? Why did you drive onto that? What is going on here? But yeah, counterintuitive probably, but it would help. also, I know another big thing that might actually be overlooked because it's usually not talked about that much. It could actually help with science. I know, sounds weird, right? But the thing is, astronomy, like, you know, if you put up, you know, observatories and radar dishes, like, you need clear skies and such. And especially with, you know, visual observatories, which are still being used, by the way. One of the oldest and most relevant ones is in Switzerland. And it's up on the mountain. And the only reason why they could use it in any shape or form was there's a train line going up there. So yeah, a lot more research could be done, you know, if you have consistent ways of getting there without impacting the environment so much. Oh boy, we're getting into the deep stuff again. Okay, actually, you know what? So... You know, we are at the moment again where I'm just like, why can't I get a pipeline? I know. Pipelines were the thing back in the day. They were. Everyone can build a fucking pipe. Could also just build highways. I know. I mean, here's the thing. At some point, I should probably get like an actual model and such, a new model and such. But I'm poor, and frankly, like, I did want to, like, how's it called? I mean, first of all, I wanted to get Agonia her own model, because that's just gonna be like a more major thing. Like, she's streaming with me a lot, and even though she's not here right now because she's still bedridden, yeah, that's just one thing I wish I could do first. I am not really modeling. It's more like, you know, getting the character built up and such. I'd like, you know, you have to think of, you know, who to commission. I don't even know who would be a good artist for that. Yep, that seems like a very healthy street crossing. I will not fix that. Not a chance. This town will be plagued by a weird railway. I remember, like, Daddy, why is there a long ass stretch of railroad going through the street? Well, son, this is delivering the oil to the oil refinery, where I work and kill my lung. Ha ha ha. But Daddy, does it help me have a good future? Son, I'm producing oil. You won't have a future because of climate change. That was actually... What? Okay, I actually got Agonia to cringe so hard right now. You should see her face. I am not good at making voices. Sorry, everyone. Make way for... Maybe I'm making 3. Yeah, that sounds good. Otherwise, where do I need to bring those? Oh, up there. Opel! Opel! I generally like Opels. That was actually like an Astra was actually my the first car I ever drove. So yeah, good cars. No, it's not dead. They're back, I think. Is Opel dead? I forgot. I know they were almost dead. So yeah, any other questions, by the way? Happy to answer. This is not cursed at all. So we'll starting off with... Electric trains are just superior in every single way. I mean... That's actually kind of an easy thing to say. I mean... Yeah, water is wet. I mean, actually, it's not wet. Wet is something that is sprayed with water, but like... yeah, I mean, electrical trains are just like superior in every way, and I can't say much more. Like, it's... Oh yeah, hey, do you want something that protects the environment, that is extremely flexible, can be powered by a lot of environmental friendly ways, has some of the best energy to power transformation in just always. Yeah, it's electrical trains. Like, I talked about it the last time. Like, that's the thing why the reason why we switched to electrical trains was honestly, I am pretty like, we are also using some of them, and the thing with with hydrogen powered trains is more like they're a bit useless. Like, don't get me wrong, I would say to a degree they are better than diesel trains, but also, I mean, unsurprisingly, they are better than, how's it called? They're still better than hydrogen-powered cars. And I think this one is actually kind of interesting to think about, because people are like, why? It's the same reason why I would say battery-powered trains are better than battery-powered, buses and everything else. Well, because one of the big problems that battery power has as of now is simply in batteries. Like, I know people are like, oh, they need lithium and all that stuff to be built, etc. And that's true, but that's not really a big problem. Let me explain. The thing about batteries is that to a big degree, they are just volatile. Like, a lot of times why battery buses are getting taken off again, or, not used on many tracks, like, for example, in Budapest, they have, a bus line going up the mountain to a castle. The thing is, those were diesel engine buses, so they replaced them with new modern battery buses. And then reverted back to diesel engines because the battery ones started catching fire. Because the problem is, batteries are volatile. Like, if you start shaking them a lot, with vibrations and such, as for example, oh hey, it's a very heavy bus, and you're like, and you're going up on an old road in the city, up the mountain. Oh yeah, oops, that definitely spells disaster. So, it's not really good. However, everything I just talked about is basically solved by the fact that trains run on rails and I have very nice gradients. And also trains are bigger, so you can actually... So being heavy is not even a downside. Heavy trains arguably have better grip. So in a lot of regional areas, rural areas, I mean, you can actually run battery-powered trains, and wow, the thing is just... And here comes the next thing in, as usual, I would say. The big problem all of these have is just always... we have overhead wire. Like, this is fundamentally the biggest problem most of these trains cannot solve, and that is overhead wire is superior. And do I need to add anything else? It's just overhead wire is superior. Like, holy shit, is it superior? And this isn't even to diminish to diminish what they're doing, but like, for example, one of the biggest problems hydrogen power has is simply, where do you get the hydrogen? Like, if you actually dive into that topic, you quickly see that a lot of cases they're like, oh yeah, look, we're just making hydrogen, which is, when it burns up, it's just creating water. Okay, yes, that's true. Where do you get hydrogen from? And the answer is 99.9% of the time, the hydrogen that we're using right now is a product of oil. And now you might be seeing you probably know where this is going. Here's the thing. Yes, we can make hydrogen out of just simply water and electricity. We've all done that in, basic physics / chemistry. That's not only the problem here, the thing is that the infrastructure of making it in a clean way doesn't really exist. That is part one. Another big thing though is the way of making it out of water in the quantities necessary is big. And yeah, transporting is another problem because hydrogen is so volatile. Again, you can actually build sturdier tanks on trains, so they're much less, susceptible to damage / blowing up, because by the way, that's the thing. If a hydrogen tank gets damaged, it blows up. Like, everything you see in Hollywood movies with, a gasoline tank being shot and the car exploding, that's hydrogen. I'm not even kidding here. That literally is hydrogen. So yeah, trains are better at that. But once again, it's just kind of a stupid technology. And I mean that in literally the sense that, if you go and because that's the thing, if you look at, we are producing, we're saying, we produce now a lot of hydrogen. That, first of all, making it with clean energy, it costs a lot of energy. At that point, you have to ask the question, why am I not using this energy to directly put it into overhead wires, which is way more efficient? So that's the thing. Right now, also, and I need to point this out, by the way, because again, as you said, there is a way of making it with clean energy, but hydrogen, as of now, is sadly a tactic of the oil industry to A, keep people selling a product, and B, delaying the build of overhead wires, because overhead wires make basically everything else null. And you're saying, but what about the regions that don't have it as of now? Yeah, here we come actually back to the thing that, once again, hydrogen is really inefficient. In comparison, it's really inefficient. You know what? I'm opening the browser again because we need to talk browser stuff again. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the superior thing that is basically the reason why hydroelectric trains are kind of stupid. These. So the thing is, you're probably looking at them and be like, what am I looking at? Well, this is the newest regional multiple unit train from Stadler. And right now, the Deutsche Bahn bought a lot of them, and they're using them in a lot of ways. They're actually getting them for a lot of regional railway networks anyway, because, for example, where I'm from, they're using them now. They still have a lot of tracks where they don't have, they simply don't have electrification yet. But, and this is the big but, the train still runs over tracks where there is electricity. So the cool thing about these trains is they're both. They're a normal they're a normal electrical multiple unit train, and they have batteries. So when they're running on a normal network, they're just charging and, you know, run like a normal train. But then they can go off that network and drive with their battery, which has, you know, it's a train. You can make big batteries and they're just working way better there. And also, if you're like, oh, but what if the regional line is very long? The irony is you can just put up some, you can actually just partially electrify a few parts of the railroad, which is way cheaper, and then you can still connect them up, because that's the thing. If you're not planning on, for some reason, to build overhead wire on your railway, and again, everyone who's like, we're not gonna do that for some reason, is just kind of stupid at this point, then you do just look at the fact of, hey, this is really cheap. Those are modern trains, very reliable trains with high capacity, and they can run on a normal network like normal multiple unit trains, then go onto non-electrified railway tracks. I have some parts that are electrified that can slowly be linked up, because that's the plan going forward, and still work. So yeah, hydrogen. Aside from the fact that right now hydrogen is used as literally a scam from the oil industry again, I will not deny that there is a way of making it eco-friendly, but again, as of now, the quantities we need cannot be produced that efficiently that it makes sense to just use overhead wire or batteries, because also, this is the next big thing I will always point towards, diesel and especially hydrogen. You do not get, like, this is basic physics, laws of thermodynamics. You will have an energy loss creating hydrogen, even if you're doing it with clean energy. And then you will also have a loss of power using hydrogen. The power transfer from batteries to an electrical motor is much, much higher than having, in between with hydrogen. So again, considering trains do not have the problems that cars have, with bumpy roads, etc., you're looking at the reason why there is just not really hydrogen, or like a need for hydrogen, because it's not that it doesn't work, it's just so inefficient. And that is just the biggest problem it has. Inefficiency. Oh yeah, let's make a new line. We need one going from hello to here. Let's just make the second one as well. Do I still? Oh yeah. Go, and you go on to line, where is it? All right, are you putting, yes, put up that oil, put up that sweet, sweet barrels of oil. I love how just barrels transform into a huge tank. That's very funny. Anyway, Chennai is so close. I can just Wait, where are the ones I need to bring it to? Actually, oh, so this is how you want to play game? Anyway, where are you? Oh, fuel. Let's go. Inefficient bullshit, go. I mean, it's not that inefficient, but... Oh, yeah, right. There we go. Much better. Now we only need to start delivering it up here. It sounds like the best setup. Okay, so how was the week for everyone, by the way? New week ahead. Hope everyone is ready for that. I mean, can you be ready for a new week? I don't know, but I do hope everyone is. There we go. So you're wondering, oh, yeah, how do you get all the other stuff over there? The answer is probably trucks. Feeling bad for that, but you know. Okay, there we go. We go. Yeah, in the end I was like, should I use trains? Should I use yeah, and the answer was trains. It's just better, you know? I think that actually is not a bad. Yeah, that's good. So, actually, the center one that can go. That should go into the other direction. Well, not really. It goes. Yeah, it goes like that. That wasn't bad. That was wrong. Frame system. There we go. And now now for the grand... Oh my god, what are you doing? Wrong direction. I have to connect... Oh god, I fucked this one up. Hey. Okay. So. There we go. Now we have them all connected. Good. Okay, to who did we want to deliver that again? Ah, yeah, Busan. Right. I wanted to boost Busan more. And Chennai. Huh. Should maybe get one circular tram line around here. That doesn't sound that bad. Okay, now we have to connect okay. Now, okay. Oh my fuck. Again? There we go. Okay. Good. Now. And let's wait a bit. Okay. Obviously, the old stuff is flaring up again. Da da da. By the way, as I definitely said multiple times, if you are here, if you're hanging out here on the channel a bunch of times and you like it here, you can join the Discord. It is invite only, so you have to say, hey, you want to join, because we kind of want to moderate it a bit. It's still interesting how much cargo rail was relatively small sized, even back back then, compared to how it's scaled after the war. While passenger trains were pretty big, like, even though they were sometimes inefficient, like, this is a capacity from 14 to 19, but like it wasn't in real life the case, but still. Okay, and slow. There we go. Okay, let's actually build this one. How many iron trains do I have? Oh god, I need to... yeah, okay. I have 3 iron trains. 2 coal trains. Okay. Okay. Okay, you are going onto this one, and you're going onto this one. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. And then we bring it onto the Stahlzulieferer 2. Yes. Okay. Good. Meaning now we have iron, steel, and plastic. So we produce goods now. Hopefully we're producing goods. And those goods will then be shipped to Busan. I am a genius. You know what? Yeah, they will get a little bit of their own goods. I am not that heartless. Like, you can siphon off a bit. Honestly, I wish I could. Wait, I can put a tram track into. Wait. Are there cargo tram? I don't think that this game has cargo trams. What does it? Now I'm... Okay, you know what? With tram tracks, obviously, yes. And I want more. Depending on how much there's gonna be in the future. Let's do it like that. Actually, let's just pop down a tram depot and let's take a look. Do we have... No. I was hoping so. Yeah, you go. Anyway, configure. First of all, we want Yukon. go. Lot better. Now we can actually just put down... Wrong. We can build down a road depot and... Perfect. So how do we haul shit? What's it called? All cargo. And you know what? More Opel. 20 was alright last time. And let's make a line. And it's a new line. Going to here to here. And you all go onto this one. Perfect. Because this is so small, trucks are actually sensible to use here. And how I set it up, there's actually... Well, there was supposed to be a good flow, but I guess every truck is driven by stupid. I hate trucks. God damn it. Worst invention ever of humans. No, actually, no, that was the car. Okay, Busan, how do I connect you better to? Okay, I need to get the Busan line over to here. Should not be too hard. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I have something I want to try. So are we going to get die. You are in the way of fantastical experiments. Yes. Yes. They're wondering, what am I doing here? Building perfection. But you first built a tunnel and then a bridge. Couldn't you just... I don't care. I build a tunnel when I feel tunnel is the vibe. Sometimes a tunnel is just a vibe, you know? You can just be like, oh, but it would be more sensible to build yada 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 yada. Tunnel vibe. Sometimes you just want to dig hole. You know? dun, 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 dun. That was a song I really like. It's a bit simple, but I like it. So I don't know if we need a second one, but we'll see. And you go on here. What I do miss about this game, and I hope they might do it in this in the third game, you know, in Locomotion, when you deliver something for the first time, there's like a news article that's called, hooray! We are not lacking packets anymore. Great. Da, 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 da. Love that though. Oh yeah, you are producing now, aren't you? Hey Sophie, how are you doing? Yeah, we're having choo-choo chaos. Mainly we built some major, you know, major lines to have packages and shit, so we can then actually grow the cities, and with the growing cities, we can then have like actually a passenger rail connection. That would be cool. But Omsk is not profiting from the oil refinery, which is interesting. I wish actually industries near towns would actually have an effect on towns. That would also be a really... Ooh, nice. Yeah, camping is cool. You know, I mean, depending on where you camp, it can also suck, but generally pretty cool. Yeah, fair. It got warm, and I hate it. Like, I can't stand heat, honestly. I am made for the cold, and I do not want to have heat. Heat is bad. So, I feel like our little needs a bit more of an expansion. Just a teeny tiny bit, and with a teeny tiny bit I mean big. Okay, do I have another oil I can send over? Yeah, actually, that's 4 oil. Perfect. So 4 tracks and 1 to deliver out. Yeah. I always hate it when people are like, oh, but isn't the summer so great? No. Go away, you false prophet. I don't want to hear your heresy. The good months in the year are the good seasons. The good seasons in the year are quite literally spring and autumn and sometimes the winter, but definitely not summer. Like, the thing is, when people are like, oh, but the summer is so cruel, they're not talking about the summer, actually, you know? That's an interesting thing where if you actually listen to what they say, that you actually realize, oh, wait, these people don't know themselves. And the thing is that it's always, and I mean always, that they're always talking about the stuff that you do to survive the summer. Never about the summer. And I have to be honest here, the stuff that you do to survive the summer can be pretty good. Like for example, I when I visited my parents, you know, going into the beer garden, that is very nice. You know, you can just sit there and actually enjoy the time to a degree. But that's, you know, a place with shade and cool drinks designed to make you survive the summer, not summer. I guess always when people say what a fate to have a birthday on the same day as Belgium. Well. Yeah, no, I get that. I'm generally glad my birthday still falls into spring. I mean, a bit into spring. It's like, usually it's not spring anymore. I have to say though, this year, generally, it remembered it. Oh wait, it's supposed to rain on that day, and you know, spring weather. And like, and it was pretty spring weathery. So yeah, I actually enjoyed that. You know, on top of having nice pizza. That was good. Yeah, pizza's great. But yeah, that's the thing, you know. That's why I also hate climate change so much. Because the moment you still, you know, one moment you're having still your birthday this month, and technically, quote unquote, it's still supposed to be spring, and you're like, yay! And then, you know, climate change comes around, and then every year it's a dice roll. Oh, is it spring? And I hate that. I do not want it to be like that. It really sucks. Yeah, me. But yeah, it was a really good pizza. At least for me. Really nice. Neapolitan style. You know, thin crust. And a slight char. Probably should have picked the one with fresh milk cheese though, because lactose intolerant, even though I crave the cheese. Happens. I mean, yeah, I get you, but like, you know what I hate about this fact? I love cheese. I mean, I'm eating it despite, like, I'm taking lactose pills and stuff, but like, because I do want to eat cheese. Cheese is just something I can't live without, frankly. So yeah, just stuff I have to deal with. The irony though is that I might actually not be lactose intolerant. And if you're not wondering, how does that work? The thing is, I don't know. The thing, it was tested, you know? Maybe I should do it again, but at least I had like an extensive, you know, row of tests back when I was a kid, and that developed, you know, about allergies and stuff. And it was tested twice. I don't have allergies. I am apparently not lactose intolerant, but I react like I'm lactose intolerant. So either it was twice a false positive, who knows, you know, the test didn't work, or yeah, it could also be that I just have a very weird type of irritable bowel syndrome, because I definitely have that, because I got that from my mom. Thanks, Mom. I kind of wanted to make a, like, you didn't leave me good genetics joke, but, like, then I thought about it. I was like, no, definitely the good genetics I got from my dad. Because, so, here, her family always has problems with, like, for example, they have some, teeth and bone. They're a bit weak, Meanwhile, on my dad's side, yeah, there are some people with just iron teeth. And hey, guess what I inherited? Barely any problems. Also, so there's just this thing on my dad's side that, some of my, me and my cousins, we just have big tits. Yay. And I know why that is for my dad's side, because I got the big tits and my sister did not. So she got the bad genes. Also, she has way more teeth problems than I have, so yeah, thanks, Dad. Okay. Louis Pasteur is the greatest Frenchman for making lots of cheese possible. Yeah, Louis Pasteur craved the cheese so bad he made the milk drinkable. That's an achievement, That is one hell of an achievement. But yeah. It could be that it is literally just a weird form of irritable bowel syndrome, because ironically, like, there are some cheeses I do not react to, but there's no real pattern. Generally some milk, some milk products I just don't react to. Then there are some milk products that if I if I take lactase pills, I also don't react to. But then there's stuff I react to no matter what. So you know what? I don't know. My body hates me in that regard. It's just like, spin the wheel. What do you get today? Oh, it's pain. Hello, Lena. How are you doing? We are waiting for a bit for the money to go up so I can buy a relatable moment. Yeah, that's the pain of not being able to eat that much cheese. Okay, we should be almost there though. Doing really well. There we go. Okay, so you're... There we go. And you're gonna be... Yeah. Also, honestly, lactase definitely makes it less of a pain, but still. That's just that. And you have to live with that. And the reality is when people are like, oh no, I couldn't live with lactase, with lactose intolerance or anything similar. You know what? Here's the thing. Trust me, you could. Because you know what? You're like, oh, but eating cheese products will cause you pain. Sometimes. Your craving for them will be even bigger though. You will love cheese. And so you will eat it and you will experience bliss. Then you will experience pain. But the bliss is the important part. Yeah, similar here, but like also said before, I am technically not even lactose intolerant according to tests, so I don't know. Okay, but perfect. Busan is getting more stuff. Now Busan has some people, yes. And Chennai doesn't. I'd literally have the draw of being a forbidden food. That's true. And you don't even need some religious stuff for that. That is genuinely not. That is genuinely not unheard of. Like, so there is this. How's it called? There's this channel that sometimes gets recommended for us on YouTube called I think Fire Department Stories, and he always reenacts things he actually has seen as first aid responder slash firefighter. And there was legit one guy that is just where he's just like, you again, because he has a peanut allergy and he ate a PB&J again, with them on call, because he's just like, I just want to eat peanuts and fuck it, even if that kills me, I want to do it. The interesting thing though is that's so everyone's probably gonna be like, why are you all doing this, especially lactose people and such. And the interesting thing here is so technically you can cure lactose intolerance, technically, and that is that is linked in part to what with the fact that people do crave lactose products, because basically there are usually some bacteria left in your gut that can actually do stuff with lactase. So if you keep just chugging milk, just pure milk for weeks on end, you will be in pain, horrible pain. You will fucking dehydrate almost, so you need to constantly counterhydrate it. But if you survive that, being stuck 24/7 on the toilet and, you need to keep drinking else you just die, then that microbiome of bacteria in your gut is supposedly, it has probably grown enough again that it can actually just get rid, work off the lactase on its own. You just need to nurture it enough. Oh damn, you missed me talking about that you can technically cure lactose intolerance by just drinking milk straight for 2 weeks and not trying to die of hydration. That is true, but die of dehydration. Okay, you're way too silent. What? Lactose intolerance. Yes, I know. Okay. Okay, you know what? Shut up. At this point, it's getting hard for me to hear over the trades. Okay. But, well, yeah, it was about a channel, with, fire department story, chronicles or so, where, someone reenacts, scenes he has, working as a first aid responder slash, firefighter. And there was a guy that literally just called them repeatedly because he's allergic to peanuts, but keeps wanting to eat, well, PB&Js, so yeah. That be that. She's still in bed, and she will still be in bed for a while. Well, but yeah, you do that. The gut biome, your gut biome should maybe start producing. It can use lactose again. So that is a thing. However, and this is a big however I need to add here, which is kind of necessary in my opinion. So. The irony about this is though that this could be the reason why we're actually craving lactose products, because well, our body is relatively smart, like when someone is when it misses something, like for example, how's it called? Lactose. Bacteria in our gut crave lactose. Then they're just like, hey, you wanna eat some lactose? And then that happens because it technically wants us to go onto the lactose binging spree. Doesn't really care that we might dehydrate during that, but gotta go binging on lactose. Okay, the trams. I need to upgrade my trams. Hey. So. Also, just roughly 10 more years and we have the Shinkansen. That's gonna boost everything so much. Oh yeah. I've been waiting for this. So we have a coal problem. Aha. I see. Which is the easiest thing to fix. So... Let's wait a bit. So. Dun, 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 da, da, dun. Da, 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 da. There we go. And now we have perfect. And you also go onto the same. Oh yeah, on the same line. Perfect. Perfect. I don't even need to do stuff. Just add. Yeah, because we have not enough coal here, so we're delivering more coal. And if that's not enough, I guess I put swing out the second coal line extension. Shouldn't be too hard. Just a bit more work. Okay, yeah, I should probably upgrade this line. Gladly, it's not a lot I need to do. This one will be the most tricky. Okay. Yep. Okay, waiting. So, that. So, okay, now. Oh, come on! Just waiting a little bit more. Now it worked. There we go. And it's on the same line already. Perfect. Now this one should have absolutely enough coal. The shipment is the problem. Interesting. Why is it getting oil? The fuck? Okay. I am slightly confused what is going on. It's like, what? Yeah, they pick up oil. There we go. And here it should refine oil. But it's not doing that. Why is it loading them on? I do not get it. Okay, yeah, that's, I guess we can maybe solve this with more trains? Who knows? This is so weird. Because I don't know where I can say only deliver this thing. Ah, well. So yeah, sorry, everything got a little bit more silent here, so yeah. Hope that's not too, it wasn't too silent for everyone. Let's keep going. I really enjoy building trains again. This was just necessary, I would say. I will say one thing though, we will be playing a sad game on Wednesday because Agonia can't be there, so you know, sadly no Borderlands, so we're gonna do something sad. That says it's horror, but it's not horror, it's just sad. And yeah, on Wednesday the Still Wakes the Deep expansion comes out, and I was just like, hey, Still Wakes the Deep. It made me sad last time. So yeah. Let me just check really quickly. So that's how you do it. Okay, let's actually fix our shit. So, okay, it should slowly transport all the shit back again. There's some absolute bullshit I have to... Okay, now. Okay, now it should slowly keep getting fixed. Oh, this was bad. What the fuck was that? transport that oil away, please. The less oil is here, the better. Go. Okay, now it should work a lot smoother. Hi, pot and iPod. No, not timed out. Oh, come on. I realize I don't need that. I can just put like this, but yeah, I definitely should put a huge side building here. Why do I make it so big? Because yeah, now it's slowly transporting stuff again. Okay. So, anything anything interesting that happened to someone? Just like, what happened? I'm just generally interested. Okay, at least, okay. So, there we go. we go. That should be enough wood now. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Interesting how on some levels just upgrading to more efficient stuff is already maximizing productivity. Oh, China Railways. Yeah, you basically our first train does need an upgrade, so let's get a little bit more onto the road with it. Oh well, onto the trail actually. So let's see how it works out. And load. Yeah, that's what we want to see. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Smaller, but yeah. Okay, now we replace you as well, because, you know what? That's just what we're doing. Let's get some more transportation on the road. So everyone was wondering, we are upgrading now to electricity because there's soon, we're entering the 60s now, and this means the era of the Shinkansen is upon us, and hopefully a lot more electrification. I think one of the funniest bits about this game, and I mean, technically, all transportation games, is always the fact that you can just build level crossings without problems. Like, in reality, level crossings are such a problem. And I don't even know how you could solve it in any other way, because, like, the thing is, when it comes to servicing anything, it's just, you do not want to have level crossings. They're just really bad. Because, you know, level crossings make it, you know, you need to slow down because of how they're built. That is part one. Second of all, they're like, holy shit, are level crossings a hazard for every train that goes at moderately higher speeds, and that is nearly every single train nowadays. Which is bonkers, if you think about it for a second. Like, seriously, the whole, oh hey, we it's just kind of insane, the fact that we simply, yeah, have, that level crossings are just still so ubiquitous, actually. I mean, that's actually fascinating. I mean, to a degree we can say, oh, it's the USA, because, yeah, the USA has a problem with the... Because, obviously, the USA has a big problem with it, but, like, yeah, on a physical level, you cannot have that many fast level crossings simply because like, trains are big and fast, and if you want to go through a level crossing, there's like roads in between the tracks, so you have to slow down a bit. The better it is in better condition, but, like, yeah, level crossings, like, people just walk over it because people are stupid. People drive over it because people behind the wheel are even more stupid. Like, holy shit, can we... Like, that's the thing. Most people that normally just drive a car casually, they are so stupid. It is insane. I know, people are like, oh, you can't generalize that. I know. I've just met enough. I know how dumb they can be. Because they're like, oh, I'm not seeing a train right now. So why is the thing down? Because the train comes in with a whoosh, and then the train is already gone. But if you're on the tracks at that point, you're dead. But that part is like, but they're always like, yeah, I don't need to use the that. I can still sneak over if there is a gap. So, like, you actually have to idiot-proof, level crossings. And even then, people will try to just, drive through. The most usual thing is for people to die on a level crossing in a car. It's ironically the level crossings with, how's it called? It's the level crossings where they have like big, things that come down and block your path. Because at this point, and I call it red light syndrome extreme, because how someone looks at the at the light and a traffic light, and it's like, oh, it's getting yellow. That means I have to put the pedal to the metal now and still speed through. No, yellow means slow the fuck down, you dumb fuck. Yellow literally means do not drive over it anymore. It's as if people go to driving school and just hear the part, oh, if you're close enough, you can still go over it. It's this grace period, but then close enough suddenly becomes, yeah, you know what? I'm half a kilometer away, but I can still take that yellow light. And the thing is, if you then go to level crossings, oh boy, it lowers. And people see this lowering, and they're like, that's a challenge for a race. And you're like, no, don't do that, dumb idiot. And then they are stuck on there, or they crash into it, and it's like, wow, you're so stupid. And then, you know what usually happens? You know, it's also one of the second most things that happens. People who are like, oh, the train already went by. Why is the thing still closed? I can just drive now. Hey, dumb fuck. You know what? On train lines, there can be 2 trains. Especially if it's dual track. But trust me, you are so unprepared for how many people are just like, I can still run that. And the answer is no. It's so fucking funny how much people want to just ignore laws that are there so, you know, they don't die. And people are like, I am a good driver. No, most people I know are not. They are simply not. And especially when someone is like, you know, driving school is like, they're really bad, you know, it's really shitty because they intentionally let you fail. The instructors are so harsh. And I just sit there being like, you know what? I don't think I drive well. I passed without problems. And mine literally was like, you know what? There was a situation where I was maybe a little bit, you know, risky. And I was like, yeah. But also, like, I couldn't just stop there at this point. It was a bit of a shitty situation. It was just like, you have to take, you know, sometimes you're in a shitty situation in a car because the thing is, you know, again, cars are a bad transportation method, especially when there are a lot of people there. And you know what? He got that. He himself was like, he probably would have done it himself. He was just like, it was a bit risky, you know that. And I was like, yeah, it was risky. I was like, good that you know that. I passed without problems, but so many people I know are like, no, they want everyone to fail. They are not nice. They're evil. And then I just sit there being like, or maybe you suck. Like, there are a lot of people who genuinely think they can drive simply because of feeling. It's so stupid, but it's genuinely true. They're like, no, you know, I'm a good driver. Source, trust me, bro. And I am not kidding. And you really look at some of them are just like, damn, people are stupid. And yeah, they are. Shockingly stupid. Hey, Leonson. Yeah, we all yearn for more trains on this channel. Because trains are important and do not destroy the environment as much. Well, you know, everything destroys the environment to a degree, but trains not as much. But yeah, it's... Yeah, I'm just literally being like, people suck at driving. And it's kind of embarrassing, actually, to just... to actually look at some of the stuff and then people are like, you know, I'm such a good driver. I never made a mistake. Then start, we have the goat. We have reached our goal. We have the goat. And then they're like, genuinely just suck at driving so much. Holy shit. It's actually very funny. I mean, not funny. It's just sad. Okay, manage vehicles on the line. I just have one. Wait. I only have one. Okay, then you are being replaced now. Goodbye. Oh yeah, right. I deleted one and then it was like... Ah, it was deleted. Trainus deletus. Yeah, trains are just a lot more safe. I just wish we had more trains so people would actually take the train, because as it's said, like, trains are generally like they need to be placed where people want to go. I said that the last times already, but not that, you know, driving has been made intentionally one of the major things. You know, like, trains have been gutted so people buy cars, because that's the whole thing. It's always about just getting people to you know, buy more cars, use more cars, and it's just a scam. It's just a huge ass scam. Hey, we talked about that before. A lot of times, actually. Sorry, that train station just needs some expansion. We now have Shinkansen. So let's add some stuff. Two on each side. How about that? Yeah. That's what we need. Yeah, I mean, you're not telling anyone new stuff here on the channel. That's actually really sad. But yeah, I mean, there's a reason why that happened. Why can't I build there? I have questions. That means we're just expanding into this direction. And anyway, but yeah, American infrastructure, it was good once. Like, that's actually the saddest part. America once was really good at, you know, building stuff like even electrification. Like, just keep in mind that electrification was like literally cut back in the US. The moment you hear that, you realize that there were lines, you know, like across America. You know, people are like, oh, distances are so great. Then why did they build the Milwaukee? Oh, does that kind of kill the argument? Because the Milwaukee Road existed, and I mean, it was pretty well used, actually. What are you doing? But also, Shinkansen! Yay! I said before, Shinkansen Zero is, it's a vibe. Yeah. I definitely need to expand that. But, I mean, what can I say otherwise than America's just a very sad affair? It is. And, yeah. Well, this is funny. Yeah, Shinkansen go whoosh. Yeah. Let's check if I have to upgrade Busan. Nope, Busan is big enough. Oh, did I fuck up the... think I did. Anyway, Busan is big enough, so perfect. Did I place some here? I did place some here, and they seem to be in the right position. Ooh, we have some more electricity. Okay, something is seriously off here. Because I expanded the, Oh. I see the problem. Now it should be fixed. Perfect. Yeah, it's again, actually, like, you had so many good electrical railway, like even locomotives. Like, that's the irony. A few decades before you know, Japan built the Shinkansen, guess where they went to get inspiration for their electrification network? The USA. I know. Sounds weird, right? But nope. There was just a time once where you built great, you know, where there were great vehicles coming from the USA. But almost ironic to think that that was a time. But I mean, that was, you know, right around the time where Ford, you know, went, what if I intentionally sabotaged everything? And here we are. Everything sucks. And like, there's a lot of lines I will always keep saying that you could genuinely just build, because people are like, oh, but what about that? What about that? Listen, one of the most obvious things I will say they can always do is get the crescent back in the hand. Like, not even that. Here's the thing. Like, the biggest thing the USA needs to do when it comes to the rail network, and this was the major part, is getting certain essential lines, and because that's the thing. Yes, by law, it's oh, hey, cargo trains have to wait for passenger rail. This is technically a great law. Cargo rail companies go around that by just saying lol LMAO, and then making the train so big that, well, you know, the passenger rail has to wait. So yeah, but again, there's one rail corridor that is working really well despite everything, and that is the one state-owned Northeastern Corridor. And like, some of the most sensible things would just simply be literally getting the lines that are, you know, hinging on that corridor, like literally connecting to them. There are two, back into state hand and actually expanding them. Not even a lot. They just need to be, you know, consistent. Because again, the biggest thing that keeps you know, your travel times back in the USA is actually the cargo rail. Like, literally. You know what? Let's open up the map again, because we have some things to share. So, let's have some stuff again. So basically, we have the Northeast Corridor. Everyone knows it from Washington DC up to Boston. Basically, Washington DC, New York, and I think Boston is also still in there. But yeah, basically, it's not a bad line. You know, it's actually connecting a lot of very essential cities. So, and yeah, basically making this a whole one major high-speed railway line, you know, not from New York to Washington DC only, as it is right now, you know, extending to Boston, good. But, you know, while we're at it, let's just be here a little bit serious. See, from Boston and New York, there are two lines, and I think they needed both of them. You should get, like from New York, there's one line, you know, like literally here through Albany and Saratoga Springs, up to Montreal. Here's the thing. This is a line begging to be nationalized and extended, so that, you know, the cargo rails can't fuck them over again, because then the trains would run a lot more consistent, wouldn't have hours of, you know, like literally hours of delay. That's one thing, because from New York to Montreal isn't that far, but there are two major things I will say. This, like getting, you know, Boston, Portland, into Maine high-speed rail, good. I'm not saying anything against it. That is generally a good expansion because people need that. However, you know, maybe even through Maine would probably benefit a fuck ton from that. The thing is just, if you get the, how's it called? Basically, if you expand your high-speed rail from New York to Montreal, this would be literally the most important line extension ever. Because, yeah, California high-speed rail is going to be very important because, like, it together with the Las Vegas, Los Angeles line is, like, such an important thing. Like, there's a whole car overload in California, and that, no matter how much it will cost, it will be good for the economy and the environment and just everything. So the thing is just, and you know, you could definitely build one from Sacramento to Salt Lake City, just saying. Yeah, by the way, the, how's it called? That one line I mentioned before, from Portland to Chicago, was completely, like the Milwaukee, Portland, Chicago, completely electrified. It's one of those lines that, you know, you probably shouldn't run high-speed rail, but the key part here is, if it's electrified and it's state-owned, it could run relatively, you know, consistently, people would travel by train. But, like, yeah, New York to Montreal, that is so important because here's the thing. Canada in the next years, and this is almost guaranteed, is gonna build a high-speed railway line from, well, Toronto/Mississauga through Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec, because those are, like, their main cities, and they're all in one line. So I don't know if they will ever, you know, bring back the one out to, you know, Nova Scotia where we had, you know, where they had the Northlander running. That was a great train, but, like, it's back in Europe, so. But, like, again, even if they built that up, you could still make a line over here. But, like, yeah, Montreal, New York, one of the most important things to nationalize. Like, it's key to get that, actually. And the thing is, because then all of Canada would have one great connection line down to New York. Bam. And it's literally just extending a line. Like, okay, it would be a second one, you know? But, you know, people could go from Washington DC to New York, switch trains, go up to Montreal. Or just have one continuous train. That would also work. And that's that. And the thing is, then what I always bring up, there's the Crescent. So the Crescent is a line that goes from, well, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and this is one continuous line, then I think through Charlotte, Atlanta, down to New Orleans. Again, one of those lines where I can say, it's one of those railway lines you should just nationalize, upgrade, and then just run high-speed rail through it. Because like even if it doesn't go down to New Orleans, but you can put New Orleans onto it as a treat. From New York to Atlanta, one continuous connection, that would be big. Like a lot of people go there anyway because like here's the thing, you know why? Like going up to Montreal, that is just sensible. That's like major, like literal major financial hubs connected. And with high-speed rail, that is so much you can have. Like also everything on this line, Albany, Saratoga, and all the small, if you give them stops, guarantee you those towns will flourish, because at that point you could fucking have can live there and still work in New York City or Montreal, because with a mixture of remote work and sometimes you have to be there. Well, you can just take the train. So who cares? You can live out in the countryside, and people want to live there. Some people want to live there. But yeah, Atlanta, I know. And that's the thing. You can't do all of them. Like I know that people say, oh, they should build some of the sensible ones first. And I agree with that. But, like, here's the thing. Why do I say those two lines are the most important? Because it would be one straight line through the East Coast. So plane tickets would just shrink, because it would just be one very continuous drive up and down with just basically one central line. From Montreal to New Orleans. Would this be a long drive still? Sure, but you can change train drivers in the middle. And high-speed rail, as long as it's fast, it's doing well. But the thing is, this will just be like, you would have stuff like New Orleans to Charlotte. That would be still a big one, but then you can just hook them up to Philadelphia and boom. It would be one central line, even though people would not ride them all the way, always. But there's another key thing why I say those are the two key ones, because again, Canada will build that high-speed railway line up here. They will. They will. So you would connect to another major railway line. So great. But also, the moment you have them down here at New Orleans, you know what's right around the corner at New Orleans? Houston. Remember, Texas, while they still want to use Shinkansen, and I would still say, listen, you have Siemens in the country, just use Siemens trains. Anyway, Texas wants to build between Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, and say, that's valid. You could still get them to build a small line over to New Orleans. Boom, you have two networks connected. Even if it's just San Antonio, New Orleans, it would be one straight line, or Austin, New Orleans. People would be like, would the end ones be used that much? Who cares? The main thing is it would be connected. And that's the key part here. You should build independent networks where it's reasonable, but you should always plan ahead of where would people go anyway. And the thing is, again, a lot of East Coast people go to Atlanta. Why? It's fucking gambling. It's a tourist spot. And I mean, you could then still from Atlanta cross one down to Orlando, because like honestly, if you get a high-speed railway line just branching off from Atlanta and going down to Florida, people can go to the whole because they have so many parks there, like Disneyland and shit. You could like literally have a station there and right next to it, build some trams and boom. So many car traffic, so much car traffic just saved. That is literally just this one coast. Just with like one or two lines. They're long lines, don't get me wrong, but like, again, I will always say the key part is you don't need a lot of high-speed railway lines. You need a lot of you need one or two key ones that are connected well with regional rail. And that would work then. And similarly, again, California high-speed rail should go to Seattle at some point. But Seattle, Portland, and then maybe to Vancouver, that's probably gonna be there first. But even then, they don't probably need that much high-speed rail. They just need consistent first. But yeah, welcome to my TED Talk again about where the use A could bullshit. Not that I'm doing this a lot of times. Okay, how are we doing? Not well. What is going on? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I still don't get how I can up shipment. Like, yeah. Usually it's always a case of, you know, if you have trains, you need to just know where to build stuff and where to actually upgrade stuff, you know? And there are a lot of lines where I think there's always this case of, but our distance is not too long, and then usually it's like, no. Like, that is another stream. When you look at Australia, people also are like, oh, it's big, but like then you look at the essential lines and not a big distance, but you know, similar distances to what we have here in Germany for railway lines. Well, so yeah, I think we can slowly end this one out here though. We've come a lot. I don't know if I'm going to continue this playthrough though. Like, I built my railway lines and maybe it's all just a little bit weird how some stuff is working and some stuff isn't. Like, oh hey, it's like saying, oh, it's producing a lot of oil. Is it though? No, and then there's like, oh, we're just storing here so much oil because fuck you, and it's like, why did this happen even? It's just the weirdest problem to have. And again, why is it loading some? I literally told the line not to. It's just... Some stuff in this game is really not well explained. Oh well. We have the Shinkansen. So, yeah. Hope you all had fun. Again, maybe we will continue next Sunday. Maybe not. Really depends if we have something or not. But yeah, otherwise, have a wonderful week ahead of you, and stay safe, stay healthy, promote trains, follow me on Blue Sky, follow my new project on Blue Sky. You will definitely see it on my account. It's just Nyaruko, as always, so you can find me there. And yeah, have a wonderful time and see you around. Bye!